If you are on a fat loss journey, it is very, very important to understand what stage of your journey that you are in so that you can execute accordingly. And in this video, we're going to talk about what those 4 phases are and how to best make the most of those 4 phases. And before diving into it today, if you are looking for more fat loss help, we are here. I'm putting out videos all the time to help you get in the best shape of your life sustainably, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel. With that said, let's get in. Hey, what's up? My name is Schuyler Diehm. I'm the founder of Reach Fat Loss and Fitness, where we helped our clients lose over 2,600 pounds, and we've done it sustainably, without counting calories, without running or other torturous cardio, and without any strict diet. We make it extraordinarily easy, and what we're going to talk about today has helped many of our clients see incredible lifelong results. And so if you are looking for support, you would like some help in your weight loss journey, make sure you head down below where you can grab a complimentary consultation to chat with our team and see if it's a good fit. So you're on a fat loss journey. It could be your first. My guess is it is not. Could be your 5th, 10th, 20th, 100th, and you are wanting to see lifelong results. And the truth is, if you are on a fat loss journey and you are committed to the outcome, it is very important to understand the 4 phases that you are going to go through. Knowing these phases can make you feel more confident, especially when things don't go as well as you would like, and they can help you understand that you're on the right track to seeing the results that you want. So we're gonna get into these 4 phases, and hopefully by the end you can feel confident knowing which phase you're in and how to advance to the next phase and ultimately to the end. So phase 1 is what I call the imperfect action and learning phase, otherwise known as the baby giraffe phase. If you've ever seen a baby giraffe when it's born, it's got these long, lanky legs, it's got this long neck, and it has a very, very difficult time understanding how to go from laying on the floor to standing up. And what it does is it tries to stand up, it immediately falls forward. And then it gets up again, and its legs are kind of crossed, and it falls to the side. And what happens as this baby giraffe gets up over and over and over and over again is it slowly starts to learn how to move its body in a way that allows it to stand up, then to walk, then eventually to run. And so what you're doing in the baby giraffe phase of fat loss and fitness is you are basically learning and staying consistent while you learn. This is not about perfect action. This is not about always getting it right. This is not about always seeing a drop in the scale every time you weigh in, even if you weigh in once a week. This is about understanding that you are here to learn, you are here to execute, you are here to understand that this is a skill. As you develop this skill, you understand that failure will happen, and that's okay. I cannot tell you the amount of people who don't do as well as they would like, whether it's a week, a day, a month, and based off the result, they get discouraged and they quit. Whereas the best thing that you can do is if you are discouraged, all you do is you get back up again. If you do that enough times and you stay consistent and you stick with it and you pick a strategy that works, this is where you get into phase 2. Now, phase 2 is the cleaning up and learning phase. During the cleaning up and learning phase, there are a couple different things that happen. So number 1, failures. Failures are still gonna happen. They're gonna happen for the rest of your life. So you gotta get used to it. You gotta be okay with slipping, falling off the horse, and getting right back on. The next thing is that this is really where execution starts to get into focus. So you're starting with just executing and just doing it. Now you're executing, but you're being a little bit more intentional. You're learning from your mistakes. You're starting to show up more consistently. You're starting to learn form tweaks, different changes to make with your meals, all these tiny little changes that are gonna help you continue to see results. And for a lot of people, what also happens during this phase is they also come to the realization that they need to be more selfish than they think, especially if you have family, especially if you are surrounded by other people who maybe aren't as intentional about their health goals. This is where you realize, okay, I can't always just go with what other people want. I need to decide on what I want, and then I need to stay consistent with that. And then of course, during this phase, you're also continuously learning. You might be in this phase because you're watching this video, right? But the goal here is that you are getting to a point where you're consuming outside information and not just blindly doing what other people are telling you to do. You can read books, you can listen to podcasts, you can start to learn about insulin and how that works, blood sugar and how that works, what being in a calorie deficit looks like, how to fast, different ways that things impact your body. This is so important because most people are just blindly following a plan, not even knowing how it works for them. And so we want to become masters at this. We want to be educated so that you feel like an expert, so that you can do this long term. Once you graduate from phase 2, then you get into phase 3. Now, phase 3 is the phase of consistent action. This is where you've cleaned things up, you've figured out what works for you, and now it's as simple as staying consistent with it. Now, during this phase, you're gonna build a lot of confidence.
Slay!
You're gonna start to believe in yourself. You're gonna start to feel like maybe I can actually do this, and you're gonna start to see some really awesome results as well. Now, as a reminder here, you are still not gonna be perfect. You're still gonna make mistakes. You're still gonna fall short. You're still not gonna be as consistent as you want to, but you're gonna start to get even better at getting back on the horse. The other thing that you're gonna find here is you're gonna find your 80%, meaning you're not gonna be able to show up 100% every single day. Or what a lot of people do is they show up 120% the first week and then they drop down to 30%. What you're gonna find is, how can I be imperfect consistent? How can I show up really strong in the areas that I want to while still allowing some flexibility and some fun in those other areas, and stay consistent with that down the line? You're not being perfect, but you're not falling off the horse and spiraling every time you make a mistake. And that is really what this phase is about: consistent action and building confidence. Now, for many and arguably most people, phase 3 is actually where they end. And there is nothing wrong with that. You're staying consistent and you're staying flexible, which is gonna make it sustainable, which is gonna lead you to long-term results. However, if you are pursuing even being better and pushing yourself more, this is where phase 4 comes in, and this is what I call the challenge phase. This is less about mastering the basics, which you have done if you are in phase 3. You are consistent with your walking, with your exercise, with your nutrition. If you're in a program like ours, with your fasting, you are consistent. It's a part of your lifestyle. It's who you are. You potentially even hit your goal weight at this point, and you're really happy with what you see in the mirror. But what phase 4 is adding challenges into your life. Now, in our program, we like to do monthly challenges. I have not been perfect with these the last few months. I've actually taken a little hiatus. But when you enter this phase, what you decide on is, I'm going to find time to commit to a specific challenge. Meaning, if we're entering the month of March, for the month of March, I'm going to commit to 10,000 steps every single day of walk. Or I'm going to commit to 10 pull-ups every day. Or I'm going to commit to 50 Bulgarian split squats every day. Basically deciding on something that you do in that time frame that is going to continue to push you to be intentional about your health and fitness. Is there anything wrong with you getting in your routine and staying in it and just staying consistent and keeping it kind of basic? If it's getting you a result and you're happy, absolutely not. But if you want to push more, you want to be more intentional, this is where you enter the 4th phase, which is challenges. I'm a big fan of this phase, but what I find is that a lot of people in our program, because they see myself, they see Amy doing these challenges, is that they actually want to skip to this phase. They're in phase 1 or they're in phase 2. They're still figuring out the consistency aspect of nutrition or lifting weights, but they want to add in a step challenge, or they want to add in a food challenge or an exercise challenge. And my advice is, your challenge is losing the fat. Your challenge is making it to phase 3. When you make it to phase 3, then we can take it to the 4. But you gotta earn your place there, because if you jump to the challenge phase, yeah, maybe you can do it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe even more than that. But odds are you're gonna burn out, and it's gonna be you're juggling too many balls at once and you're gonna drop. Whereas if you just slowly increase the amount that you're juggling, you're gonna find that you're gonna be able to actually handle them very, very well. So my question for you today is, what phase are you in? Make sure you leave me a comment and let me know. And if you are looking to lose fat, of course, number 1, subscribe, but also check down below this video if you're looking for insane support and accountability and a system that works really, really well. You can apply for a complimentary consultation down below. It is not rare that we have clients say that this is the easiest system that they've ever used, easiest and simplest, and it makes me happy every time I hear it, because our focus is sustainability. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.